Hey everyone, welcome to Merivit Education Center Mathematics Active Learning for Pratham 6. Enjoy learning! I hope that you feel great today before we will start our lesson. By the way, our topic is all about pattern. Before we are going to talk our topic, let's know first our objectives. Number 1. The students will be able to identify pattern. Number 2. The students will be able to create pattern based on the given sequence. Before we are going to discuss, let's learn first some vocabulary words. Are you ready? Let's get started. Our first vocabulary word is what we call pattern. Again, pattern. A pattern is a sequence that repeats. Again, pattern. Now, it's time for you to say the word. Very good. Our next vocabulary is what we call sequence. Again, sequence. Sequence is a list of numbers form a pattern. Examples: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now, it's time for you to say the word. Again, sequence. Good job! Our next vocabulary is what we call term. It is one of the numbers in the sequence, and it can goes on forever. Now, it's time for you to say the word. Term. Good job! Our next vocabulary is what we call odd numbers. Again, odd numbers. Odd numbers are whole numbers that cannot be divided exactly into pairs. Examples of an odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Now, it's time for you to say the word. That's wonderful! Our next vocabulary is what we call even numbers. Again, even numbers. And even numbers are numbers that can be divided exactly by 2. Examples of an even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Now, it's time for you to say the word. Very good! Now, it's time for us to learn another vocabulary, which is square numbers. Again, square numbers. Numbers multiplied by itself. Examples: 2 times 2, or what we call 2 squared. 3 times 3, or what we call 3 squared. Now, it's time for you to say the word. Good job! Our last vocabulary is what we call cube numbers. Again, cube numbers. A cube number is a number multiplied by itself 3 times. Example: 3 times 3 times 3, or 3 cube. Now, it's time for you to say the word. That's wonderful! Now, we are done with our vocabulary. I hope that you learned something from it. Now, let's talk our topic, which is pattern. What is a pattern? A pattern is a series or sequence that repeats. A pattern follows a special rule, and the rule is how the pattern works. How does the pattern works? What is the use of the pattern? We use pattern in the buildings, making our clothes, or even the lines in a paper. So it means patterns are everywhere, especially in math. Look at this pattern. It begins with red triangle, blue triangle, red triangle, blue triangle, and red triangle. It's doing the same thing over and over again. What rule does it follow? Yes, the pattern alternate between red and blue triangle. So if we are going to continue the red triangle, what's next will be the next triangle. Yes, it's a blue triangle. Next, a missing triangle. What color must be the next triangle? Yes, it's a red triangle. Very good.
Now let's use another examples. Instead of using color and shapes, we are going to use numbers. Let's take our example number 1. Our pattern consists of 2, 4, 6, 8, missing number, followed by 12. Let's take a look. What rule does this pattern follow? Yes, our pattern shows that we add 2 going to the next number. So let's start with 2. 2 plus 2, it becomes 4. 4 plus 2 equals 6. 6 plus 2 equals 8. 8 plus 2 equals 10. So our missing number is 10. Very good. Now let's take example number 2. What did you notice? We start from 1 going to 8. 8 going to 27. And we have the missing number, followed by 125. What could be the missing number? What does our pattern shows? Yes, our pattern shows that we use the rule of cube numbers. In every number, we multiplied by itself 3 times. Like for example, 1 multiplied by itself 3 times equals 1. 2 multiplied by itself 3 times equals 8. 3 multiplied by itself 3 times, it becomes 27. 5 multiplied by itself 3 times equals 125. So what's between 3 and 5? Yes, it's 4. And 4 multiplied by itself 3 times equals 64. Very good. We have another number patterns. 2, 5, going to 8, going to 11, and going to 14. Now, let's use T as our term and as our missing number term. So our first term is 2. Our second term is 5. 2 going to 5, we add 3. Next, our third term is 8. 5 going to 8, we add another 3. Next, our fourth term is 11. 8 going to 11, we add 3. Next, our fifth term, which is 14. 11 going to 14, we add another 3. Now, we are looking for the 10th term. Again, we are going to look for the 10th term of this pattern. We notice that the rule in this pattern, we add 3 going to the next number. It's increasing by 3. Using a formula, we can solve for the missing term of this pattern. So let's substitute n as our missing number. Look for the first term plus open bracket, open parenthesis, n, which is our term that we are looking for, minus 1, close parenthesis, times the sequence of the number, close bracket. Now, let's look for the 10th term using the formula. Our first term is 2 plus open bracket, open parenthesis, 10, which is the term that we are looking for, minus 1, close parenthesis, times 3, which is the sequence, close bracket. Now, class, in solving this pattern, we have to remember the rule of PEMDAS. Parenthesis first, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So we have a number inside the parenthesis, which is 10 minus 1. Let's solve it first. Copy 2 plus 10 minus 1 is equivalent to 9 times 3. Now let's solve first. Remember, PEMDAS, parenthesis, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So we are going to solve first the multiplication, which is 9 times 3. 9 times 3 is equivalent to 27. Copy 2 plus 27. Next, let's solve the addition. 2 plus 27 is equivalent to 29. So our 10th term is equivalent to 29. Another example. Fill in the missing number 5, 11, 17, 23, 29. From the above pattern, what number is term 50? Now, we are looking for the term 50. We are going to look for the 50th term of this pattern. But first, let's find out how does the pattern works. Let's examine. Our first term is 5. Going to 11, we add 6. 11, going to 17, we add 6. 17, going to 23, we add another 6. 23, going to 29, we add another 6. So our pattern shows that in every number going to the next number, we need to add 6. It's increasing by 6. So by doing this one, we can use the formula that we had learned from the other slide, which is T equals the first term plus open bracket, open parenthesis, and the term that we are looking for, minus 1, close parenthesis, times the sequence, close bracket. Let's substitute. T 50 equals 5, which is our first term, plus open bracket, open parenthesis, 50, which is the term that we are looking for, minus 1, close parenthesis, times 6, close bracket. So let's use the rule of PEMDAS. Parenthesis first, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So let's solve first what's inside the parenthesis. Copy 5 plus 50 minus 1 is equivalent to 49 multiplied by 6, which is our sequence. Then solve multiplication. First, copy 5. 49 times 6 is equivalent to 294. Then 5 plus 294 is equivalent to 299. So our 50th term of this pattern is equivalent to 299. Bob uses some lines to make the following pattern. Question: how many lines used in figure 5? Before we're going to look for what is figure 5, we are going to examine first how does the pattern works. First, figure 1, he used 3 lines. In figure 2, he used 5 lines. In figure 3, he used 7 lines. In figure 4, he used 9 lines. What is figure 5? 3 going to 5, he add 2. 3 plus 2 equals 5. 5 going to 7, he add another 2. 5 plus 2 equals 7. 7 going to 9, he add another 2. 7 plus 2 equals 9. What is figure 5? The pattern shows that in every number, we are going to add 2. So, 9 plus 2 equals 11. So, in figure 5, he uses 11 lines. Let's summarize the lesson. Again, pattern, it repeats. So you have to find how does the pattern works. Now everybody, you can use the formula that you had learned from the last slide, which is if the pattern shows that it's in increasing order. Now, I hope that you learned something from the video. Goodbye and see you next episode.